In this video, I'm on a road trip from Phnom Penh to Kampot for the Cambodian New Year festivities with my Singaporean friend Louis and his Cambodian friend. And what started off as a little rest stop on our drive gave way to some fascinating insights from Louis that I was fortunate to get on video. Now Louis, for practical intents and purposes, would likely be considered successful by most people, especially in the areas of business and finance. And so here's some of our conversation.
You want a coffee?
Yeah, we'll go get some coffee at the Cafe Amazon. So the interstate system here, at least from Phnom Penh to Kampot, is really nice. The roads are pretty well paved. Let's see what they have here. So $1 is 4,000 Cambodian reals, 7,000 drinks, and then there's a 9,500 drink, honey lime and jelly green tea. So that's a little over $2. Smoothies, a little more expensive, a little bit over $2. This is from the back of the coffee shop. It's very nice. All this lush greenery for a rest stop, cafe, and gas station at $6 and about 20 cents for 3 drinks.
Things are too rigid, like I say, and my friends, families, so they do agree at a certain extent that life is short, and it's too predictable for me in Singapore, And coming over here, you find all sorts of things, like even food, the cost of living, where initially also I felt that, everything is cheap, okay? That is primarily, I think, the main slogan of all Singaporeans, or I call them Sinkies. Everything is cheap because of inflation, right? And also the strong currency that Singapore owns, right? Once you get out of Singapore, every damn thing is cheap. But after living here for the past close to a year now, things are not cheap after all.
It's cheaper than Singapore,
but you see that there's value in the money. Okay, where I don't see it anymore in Singapore over the last 5 to 8 years. That's why I decided to just get out, seek for newer things in life, because I always feel like you only got to live life once. Just maximize it and do whatever you want that you're comfortable with, but again, don't harm yourself, don't hurt other people. And my philosophy in life, whether in work or even personally, you don't shortchange people.
Yeah, don't shortchange people.
I mean, hopefully you don't get shortchanged as well.
Yeah.
That's how life I look at. And there's been challenges, up and downs, especially the language here. Right? Apart from that, I think we can live by simply. Okay. I just want to get out and do other things that
you just want to explore.
That you have not experienced before.
I think that's the fear. I think for Americans, they don't want to. They'd rather be in a situation they don't like, but are familiar with it, than to try to experience something new and maybe be better off. But it's so new, they're scared, because what I'm doing, they look at it as oh, that's fun, but
you can't do it in a long term.
Yeah, you can't do it long term. They're
once
afraid.
You finish this journey.
Once you finish,
then you please come back.
Then you come back
and lead your normal life again, or get back to your normal life. That's not only the Americans. I mean, in all developed countries.
You think so? Yeah.
Came from, right? Like even in Singapore, or even some folks, some of my fellow associates or some close friends in developed and established countries like in Hong Kong, or even in Japan, Korea, or even in China. I ask them to just get out, and explore new things, Just in, it's comfortable, or family, or their work commitments. Yeah, primarily also due to personal commitments. Like it, whether it's family or
Financial
work,
commitments, work.
Financial, I think it's not so. I mean, everyone can restart all over again.
Sure.
Because we came into this earth or this world without anything. As long as you health-wise you are good enough, I don't think you can. I don't think it's a challenge finding a decent living anywhere in the world, as long as you are willing to sacrifice, work hard, Yeah, that's life, right? Even most of my close friends, they're still living in a bubble. They're still very ignorant of what is happening, what is going on outside in less developed countries, or even in developing countries. Very, very naive, very, very ignorant, like I just mentioned, right? These typical Sinkies, once they get out of Singapore, Changi Airport, everything is cheap for them. And even there are some foreigners who term Singaporeans as chicken. We go everywhere, cheap. Every damn thing is cheap. But if you look at things and the lifestyle in different countries, different culture, right? You have to be proportional to what they earn.
Yes, proportional to how they live.
Compare apple to apple, meaning how much we earn in Singapore and we go overseas and everything is really dirt cheap to us. This is the typical perception of most Singaporeans, which I'm quite disappointed and sad,
Do they think you'll come back? Do you think?
And to be honest, I'm guilty of it as well. The first time when I went for a long trip, that means I went over to China, right? That was about 15, 18 years ago. I feel that, Singaporean, we are the elite.
Yeah.
Over most Asian counterparts.
For sure. Economically,
without even mentioning like China, in terms of education, we have. We are bilingual. Minimum we are bilingual. We are born Chinese, but we adopted the Western culture. We speak proper, good English. Even for me, I look at Singaporeans traveling abroad. Obviously, coupled with the fact that we are holding the most powerful passport. Right?
Yes, that's true.
Countries, we can just walk in and out anywhere.
That's true.
You just name it. 195 countries and counting. Okay. So you walk into any country thinking that we are the elite or we are the God's gift. But after staying in the country for long, right, you find that that isn't it. We are so small. We are so tiny. As what most foreigners don't even know where Singapore is, because it's just a small red dot, right?
Right. I don't think we learned that until we leave the country. I lived in a bubble too in America, and I had these viewpoints and I had these opinions that I thought was true around the world. And it's not until you leave this when you realize that there's a vastly different world out there, and even though you understand intellectually without leaving, you really don't understand emotionally until you leave, right?
Because the world is really so huge.
The world's huge.
So it's really. My advice to the younger folks, if you have time, you're healthy enough, just go out, go out and explore. It's so huge, So what, you earn tens of thousands or even millions of dollars sitting in your office, comfortable, But that's not life the way I look at it, And by the way, we only get to live once, right? So even here, initially when I came, I'm still adopting those kind of, foreigner expat kind of lifestyle.
Sure.
But for the last few months, after I literally work on ground level, interact, communicate with the locals, right? I try to live like them. Simple life, like Bobby, with a monthly expenditure of probably about $500-600. Just to feel how they are living, and they still live by. Comfortably. You don't need any branded stuff. You don't need any, high-end lifestyle. I think this is what life is all about, right? Being comfortable enough that you will not starve during your sleep. You wake up every morning feeling refreshed, rejuvenated. I think basically that's the essence of life,
So how does a person in a developed country, in a Western developed country, how do they make that move? I see what you're saying, but I don't think we understand that until we do it. Like we can plan all the way, whatever, and we can research the hell out of everything. And we can intellectualize everything, but how do we remove the fear from someone who's making a very comfortable living in the United States to say, hey, why don't I try a developed country just to experience it, or why don't I just take a month off, just to see how?
No,
how do we do that?
The fear factor is that. Definitely the fear factor, coupled with the fact that their commitments, family commitments.
Sure.
Okay. Whether if let's say you have an aged parents, you have downline, you have kids to take care of, you can't just pack your bag and just leave overnight.
Right.
Okay. So I rated that family commitments is one of the main things. Then after that, sacrificing your comfortable life,
that's
comfortable
big,
lifestyle, your culture, everything, even down to language barrier, moving to a foreign country, you definitely will be bombarded with, a lot of indifferences, right? Whether it's your culture, lifestyle, communication skills, language, eating habits, everything, So it's quite a frightening experience.
It is.
For those faint-hearted people, right? They will ask themselves, why do they have to go through this, right? They also will question themselves, why do I need to go out and experience those kind of hardship or those kind of hard life? Okay, going to a foreign country or foreign land where I don't even understand what they speak or eat.
Why should I do it?
Why should I do it? They also question themselves. So I will not blame that a large portion of people is still having this skepticism of just leaving their comfort zone or their bubble.
So what's the benefit for me if I'm a person in a Western developed world? What's the benefit? Why what's the appeal for me to leave my comfortableness? I think it's less stress, less anxiety, more relaxed environment. I don't know, but yes, I'm less comfortable. That's true. And yes, there's language barriers and there's difficulties with food and there's a lot of challenges. It's not efficient. It's not as effective as the US from my experience. But so what's the benefit for me other than, I guess, opening my eyes, new experience?
Yeah.
I get out the rat race. That's a good one. That's a big one for me. That's why I'm here.
No, but taking you aback, right? When you mentioned the stress, right? I felt that it's a really overrated word. Okay. Even in a rat race, okay, you have mentioned that it's stressful, this and that. But even here, these people, they are even feeling stressed if there's no food on the table for them, even though they are living a simple life. Okay, but the thing is, just follow your heart. Even if you are not working, you'll be stressful.
Yeah, There's stress
Or
and
if you have tons of money in your bank, you'll be stressful as
You're
well.
always gonna be.
So I felt that this word stress is really, really overused and overrated.
I see your point.
Yeah, it's not that it's so stressful, that's why I need to get out of the company or leave the company or leave my family or
Leave my country.
leave my country. It's also stressful being alone.
Yes.
Don't you think so?
Yo, no, I agree. I think it is. Yeah.
So I do not want to categorize being stressed in stress and being like compounded in a environment literally push you out to move on to another new environment or new country or new place. It's just that I think just one first thing probably just a getaway. Okay. Second thing I think the most important is see what the world is out there. You know, it's really enormous. You know, the skill sets that you can acquire, whether it's communication skills, the culture. You know, even for cultural indifferences, human to human is very different. You know, it's very different. Whether it's race, religion, or even language. You know, it's so different that we have to be respectful about. You know. So this is what I see. You know, after like literally 3/4 of my life is outside Singapore. 3/4 of my life. Been to India, China for the longest time, then in Asia, made a few trips to US, a couple of trips to Europe. Really is it's really the general experience and the knowledge that you can acquire, right? Couldn't even learn from schools.
You can't learn from books. You can't. The emotion, experiencing it firsthand is different.
So it's really money come by, you know, all these experiences. And so this is one thing, you know, I kept telling my boys and the folks back home, you know, that I can just go off, you know, peacefully, you know, because I literally have experienced and seen almost everything. Almost everything, you know. At this age now, thank God, you know, I'm still healthy, you know. So I always encourage all my friends back home in Singapore, while you still can walk, can run, can eat, and have every reason that every morning you can wake up, right? Go out and look, you know, see, open your eyes, open your ears, open your heart, open your mind. Just go out, you know, because we only get to live once, right? For heaven's sake.
How many of your friends in Singapore have taken you up on the invitation?
None.
None?
No, I've shared with you, right? I openly invited or requested, you know, anyone just want to come here. Don't even need to bring me anything, okay, from Singapore. Just buy a ticket, come here, okay. Take it as a visitation trip,
right?
Okay, visit me, okay.
Because the fear would be removed. Yeah,
no, there's nothing, you know, nothing interesting, you know, nothing that captivates them. That they have this push. I say for friendship. Why don't you just come over? You know?
Yeah, hang out with me.
I got a decent place, you know. I can move you around because I have local transport, right?
Right.
None of it. And shit, man, I mean, from Singapore to Cambodia, barely 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
And ticket cost probably
cheap.
You probably not more than 250 Sing dollars.
Yeah.
That's it. You know. Unfortunately, no one pick up. Yeah. So it's kind of sad. And like I mentioned, right, stop reading from whether all those media reports about, you know, this country this or this country that.
Experience it yourself.
I'm not saying as a huge fan of this country, but the thing is that you have to come and see yourself, you know. Everywhere. Not only in Cambodia, I reckon everywhere. You know, then you can really get the true experience, you know, what it's like living out of your comfort zone or out of your country, then you will appreciate and value things even better. I think that's the most important learning experience I had. You know, I reckon, you know, when I go back to Singapore, I will appreciate more things.
Oh, I agree. Oh, I totally agree.
You know, even the simplest of things, even like weather. Okay, even though it's humid, it's hot. Okay, we are sharing the same equatorial weather, right? Like in Cambodia. But pretty much the country back home in Singapore is pretty much everywhere is sheltered. Okay, with a lot of massive landscaping, right?
Mm-hmm.
The trees and shrubs and primarily Singapore is a garden city.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But over here it's open, it's exposed. Okay, not to the sense like, you know, in the Middle East where everything is like a desert, but here it's totally exposed without trees, plantations. So it's hot, and when you get back home in Singapore, you feel that, you know, it's slightly cooler. You know, everywhere is sheltered.
Right, because they have the infrastructure. They set it up to
the landscaping.
The landscaping,
the landscaping. So like simple things like this, you know, I will appreciate. You know, or like even a bowl of noodles. Okay, sitting in a coffee shop. You know. The cleanliness of it, you know, you know, couldn't take away from it, right? Yeah.
I feel a lot of that too when I come back to the US.
You will tend to appreciate when you go away and you come back. You know? That's the instinct of human being, right? Yeah.
Sure, no, I agree with you. I definitely appreciate the efficiency of the US, especially when I run into issues in Vietnam. Where it's just not as efficient or effective.
Yep.
The paperwork or the red tape sometimes, or the really unclear guidance that you get in Vietnam, and it's much more clearer in the U.S. There's trade-offs, right? But to your point, I think we learn more, we appreciate where we come from maybe a little bit more. And you're right, we feel too entitled coming from a Western developed country. Or we can feel too entitled for sure. And when you do something like visit Cambodia, Vietnam, you get a different viewpoint. You get a more appreciation, I think, for both cultures, where you can get an appreciation. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. I'm privileged and grateful for your support. Please follow me on Instagram for more. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.
What's the bathroom look like? Bathroom situation. So they do have some squat toilets, as you can see, but also some non-squat toilets. See? There we go. There's the facilities. But it's super clean here. That is for sure. The infrastructure in this gas station is really nice. All right, we're gonna head back on the road.